Hi computer scientists! In this video we're going to learn about while loops. So a loop is something that repeats again and again and again and again. And a while loop checks if something is true and then does what's inside its loop. So for example, we can write while true, and then you always have to put a semicolon and you press enter. It will automatically indent, but if it does not, you will need to indent it yourself. Then we can write something that we want to happen again and again and again. So for example, we can print the word so. So if we print so, in a loop, it will print so again and again and again and again. And you see it keeps printing so. And it will never stop. I have to stop it here by stopping the program altogether. There are so many so's because it just keeps going again and again and again. Now that's not so helpful. We can also change our condition here. So true is a Boolean statement. And we can also write an expression that evaluates to either true or false. So for example, we can write 4 is less than 5. 4 is less than 5, that's true. That's a Boolean expression that evaluates to true. So if I run this, you will see it does the same thing because 4 is less than 5 is the same as true. What if I change it to greater than? 4 is greater than 5. What's the value of this expression? The value of this expression is false. So if I run this, will it print so? Let's see. And it does nothing. Because 4 is not greater than 5. This is false. So it does not print so. Now, what if I have here, instead of a number, I have a variable a. At the beginning, let's say a is equal to 0. So a is now less than 5. So I want it to print for a less than 5. Well, if I run it now, a is 0 and 0 is less than 5. So what will that evaluate to? True. This is also true and will print so a million infinite times. In order to make it stop, we need to change the variable a. To do that, we're going to set a equal to a plus 1. Now if I run this, it only prints so 5 times. The first time we do this loop, we have 0 is less than 5. The second time we ran the loop, we had 1 is less than 5 because we added 1. So then we start again. Is 1 less than 5? Yes. We print so, and we add 1 to a again. So now a is 2. In our next iteration, we have 2 is less than 5. Is 2 less than 5? Yes. So we print so again, and we add 1 to a again. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So we have 3 is less than 5. And we print so, and we add 1, we get 4. And we go back to the beginning of the loop. And we get 4 is less than 5. That's true. We print so, we add 1. We have 5 is less than 5. Is 5 less than 5? No, so our program is finished. Let's add another part into this. If I put over here, not indented, and I finish with much, what will this print? It prints so 5 times and much after that. Now if I was to indent print by pressing tab on my keyboard, what will it print now? So much, so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. 5 times. Because print is indented here, this line is indented, it is inside the while loop, so it will happen all 5 times. Now, what if I was to run a program where it's not changing a variable, so this is always true, what will this print? Well, if I run it, we'll see so like a million times, and the program will never stop. So we'll never be able to get to line 6 because it's just going to loop again and again lines 2 through 4. Now what if I have false here? What will it print now? It's only going to print much because while false does not happen at all because the expression is false. So we will never print so, and we will never add a number to A. Let's add a few lines on the top. Let's print Ikimatu misses Jennifer, and if we have this at the beginning, and let's have this go back to A is less than 5. What is this going to print now? Ikimatu misses Jennifer so much. The first line only happens one time because it's before the while loop. And so happens 5 times because we start at 0, we add 1 each time, and we stop at 5. And much is not inside the while loop because it's not indented. So that only happens once. How could we make Ikimatu miss Jennifer 10 times so? What would we have to change? Well, if we want it to happen 10 times, we have to say A is less than 10. So let's run this program. And now Ikimatu misses Jennifer so much. 10 times so. We can also use another variable to ask how much Ikimatu misses Jennifer. So let's not decide for Ikimatu how much she misses Jennifer. Let's ask her. To ask a question, we always need to use input and a variable. So what's a good variable name to the question, how much do you miss Jennifer? Maybe amount. Amount equals, to ask a question, we always put input, parentheses, and quotation marks. How much do you miss Jennifer? Make sure you put the quotation marks after the question mark. So question mark is inside the quotation marks. It's a mistake I've seen a lot of people make in assignments. So now, if we run this program, and Ikimatu misses her 4 times so much, this variable called amount would hold the number 4. But it would hold the number 4 as a string. So we need to convert it into an integer. So how do we convert a string into an integer? We use int. So we say amount equals int, and inside int we're going to put our variable again. So now this variable is changed to be an integer from the string that it was. Now instead of using a specific number, we can change the number each time we run the program by using our variable. So instead of 10, I'm going to write amount. So now let's run this again. How much do you miss Jennifer? 4 times. It prints so 4 times, and still much only once, and Ikimatu misses Jennifer only once. Only the so again is repeating. So let's review. What is a while loop? A while loop repeats the code that's indented again and again as long as the condition here is true. As soon as this condition is false, it will stop. And to make a condition that might be true or might be false at different times, we need to use a variable, and oftentimes we need to increment the variable. Increment means add or change the variable, by adding to it or subtracting to it, we could do also. By saying a equals a plus 1, this is not a mathematical equation. This means a gets whatever a was plus 1. So again, what does a equals a plus 1 mean? We're taking the value that's in a, we're adding it by 1, and storing that back in a. I hope this helps you understand while loops, which is a key part of many programs that you use.